হ্যালো ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, আজকের টপিক হচ্ছে এইচসিএফ আর জিসিডি। আচ্ছা, এইচসিএফ এর ফুল ফর্ম কি বা অ্যাব্রিভিয়েশন যেটাকে বলে সেটা হলো হাইয়েস্ট কমন ফ্যাক্টর। ওকে, আর জিসিডি হলো গ্রেটেস্ট কমন ডিভাইজার। এখন আমার কথা হলো হোয়াট ইজ ফ্যাক্টর। আমরা ফ্যাক্টর সম্বন্ধে একটা আইডিয়া করার চেষ্টা করি। ফ্যাক্টর, what is factor? A number can be a factor of another number if you divide a number with that number and gets zero as remainder. আচ্ছা, কথাটা মানে কি? যেমন মনে করো আমরা 2 দিয়ে 6 কে ডিভাইড করব। এখানে 6 কি? 6 হলো ডিভিডেন্ট আর 2 হলো ডিভাইজর, রাইট? আচ্ছা, এটাকে যে কতবার যায়? It gets 3 times and you get 6. Finally you have 0. So there is no remainder. So 2 is a factor of 6. So 2 is a factor of 6, right? Now similarly, if you divide 6 with 3, you get 2 and there is no remainder. Therefore 3 is also a factor of 6, right? And you can divide any number with 1, it gets 6 times and you have same 0. Therefore 1 is also a factor of 6. Therefore 2, 1, 2 and 3 all are factors of 6. Even 6 is also a factor of 6. You get 0. Okay, so I hope you guys have understood that what is mean by factor. So you can write 6 can be written as like this: 6 is equal 1 times 2 times 3, and if you make some combination, we'll have 1 times 6 or 2 times 3. You can take 1. Here you cannot break 3 and 2 anymore. You can break 6 into 2 times 3, but you cannot break 2 or 3. So these are called prime factors. These are called prime factors. Prime factors. So this is a prime factor. 3 is also a 2, 3 are prime factors. Okay, 1 is can be also considered as one prime factors. Okay, now here 6 is equal to 2 and 3. So here 1, 2, 3, 6, all of these numbers are factors of 6. Okay, now what is HCF? Here HCF, what is HCF? If the question asks for to determining the HCF of some given values, let's say you are given 6 and 10 and they are asking for what is the HCF of these given numbers. Here highest common factor, H stand for highest. So if you break 6, you get 6 is equal 1 times 2 times 3. Okay, so this is the combination of 1 times 6. Okay, and here 10 can be written as 1 times 2 times 5. Therefore it can be also written as 1 times 10. Okay, now what is the most common values here which is exist in 6 and 10 in together? You can see 1 exists for both here, both factors here, and here is 2. 2 also exists for both of the factors here, and these are not common, they are uncommon. Therefore we can say 6, for 6 you have 2, 1 times 2, 1 times 2 is equal to, and you also have from here 2. So 2 is common for both these two numbers. Therefore HCF means highest common. What is the highest value? Here 2 is the highest factor. 2 is the highest factor, possible factor that you can have here. Okay, so HCF is the HCF is 2 here. Okay. Okay. Now let's do another problem. Let's say find HCF of 12 and 30. So what will happen? Let's break this 12 into its prime factors. So you have 1 times 2 times 2 times 3. You will get 12. You cannot further break. You further cannot break. Therefore, this is the these are the prime factors. So here prime factors are 2, 3, and 1. Okay. You can also write it like 2 times 6. You can also write it as 12 times 1, and you can also write it as 4 times 3. Okay. Similarly, for 30, what you have? For 30, you can write 1 times 5 times 2 times 3. So you have 5 times 6, or 15 times 3, 15 is 2, or 10 times 3. I'm not writing 1 anymore, as it is common for every scenario. Okay, now if you observe very carefully, you will get what is the factors here. Factors of 12 are 2, 3, 2, 3. Then you have, well, we have already written 2, and here is 6, so I have write 6. Here we have 12, and there is another one, 4, so you can write 4 here. So before we write 6, we can write 4 in ascending order, 6, and then we can write 12. For this one we can write, 2, 3, 5, 6, 10, and finally 15. Oh, you can write also 30. Okay, so what is the most common here, and which is the highest value here? You can see 6 here is the highest factor. All of these are factors. Okay, these values are factors, are 12, and these are for 30. So we can write 6 is the highest here, because 6 exists for both of these numbers, 12 and 30. So 6 is the highest common factor here. This is the highest value, this is a factor, this is the highest common, and it is also a factor, right? So we have highest common factor. Okay, highest common factor. Therefore HCF is equal 6 here. Okay, now we will find highest common factor using two process. One is called using division method, and another one is Euclid process. Okay, so what is division method? Using division methods, here we will take the 12 and 30 again for demonstration. So which one is the smallest value here? Obviously 12. Now we have to divide 30 with this 12. How many times it will have? It will go 2 times. So we have 24. 12 times 2 is 24, right? What is the remainder? 6. And now we cannot further proceed. Therefore, we will now take this 12 here, and further proceed. So how many times it will go? It will go again 2 times. So we have no remainder. Now we will divide this 30 with this 6 again. Okay, and then I will explain why we are doing this. Okay, you can see that here if you divide 30 with 6, you go 5 times, and we have no here. So what is the last value we have here? This is the last value here, 6. So in this process 6 is the highest common factor. Okay, the highest factor. But the main question is why we do so আর কি? আচ্ছা, আমরা কেন করি আর কি? Now let's explain this. You can see that we have here, when we are dividing these values, 12 can be written as 1 times, 2 times, 3 times 2 again, and 30 can be written as 1 times, 3 times, 5 times 2. Okay, so and the most common part here is this, right? Now let's say when you are dividing, we get last 6 here, so 6 can be written as 3 times 2, and for 30 we also have 2 times 3 here. Therefore intuitively we can say that this is the HCF. Okay, because you can divide 12 with 6. If you divide 12 with 6, you have no remainder, therefore we get 0 here, Similarly, if you divide 30 with 6, you have no remainder. Therefore this is the highest possible value, with which value if you divide 30 and 12, you will have no remainder. So by definition it is the highest common factor. Okay, now let's do another problem. Let's say we have uh, we have 12, 15 and 30. How we do this? Okay, so if you use division method, what is the smallest value here? 12 is the smallest value. Let's divide 15 with 12 first. You get one times. We have 3 here. If you further proceed, it go as 3 times 4 is 12. Okay, there is no remainder. Now we take this 3 and divide 30 with this 3. Okay, with this 3. So it goes 3 times, 10 times. So we have 0. So this is the, so 3 is the SCF of 12 and 15. Okay, and if we divide with 3, we also have no remainder. So 3 is the highest common factor of key all these 3 given values. Therefore HCF is equal 3, right? HCF is 3. Now let's say use Euclid process. Euclid method. Euclid method. To use the Euclid method, we take 12, 15 and 30 here. Now think of dividing all these values, all these three values with a number. Is there any? Let's start with 2. At least one value must be divisible with that value. But generally we have to think of a value which can divide all these 3 values. So if you take 2 here, you cannot divide 15 by 2. Okay, you cannot divide it. You won't get any whole value. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So let's take 3 here. If you take 3 here, what you will get? If you take sorry, 3 here, it goes 4 times, and it will go 5 times, and it will go 10 times. Okay, now you cannot think of any values which can divide 4, 5 and 10 in one single time. Okay, there is no value. Okay, there is no value. Therefore we can say 3 is the HCF here. We have to think all these 3 values must be divisible by the numbers. Okay, if you think of only 12 and 30 here, then you will have it can be divisible with 2. If you divide 2, then you get 6, and you have here 15. Now you can divide these 2 values with again 3. So it can be divided with 6 is 2, and here is 5, right? So we can write here that 2 and 3 2 times 3, this is 6. 6 is the HCF. Okay, 6 is the HCF. Remember, all these two values must be divided with these values. Okay, this is the main thing here. Okay, now we have learned what is HCF. Now we have to find what is called LCM. What is LCM? LCM. LCM full abbreviation is least common multiple. Okay, least common multiple. Here, if you take, let's say we have to find least common multiples of 12 and 15. Find LCM of 12 and 15. Okay, now first we have to understand what is multiple. What is multiple? Okay, what is multiple? Let's say if you take, what are the multiples of 2? Multiples of 2s are multiples of 2 is 2 times 1 is 1 multiple, 2 times 2 4, 2 times 3 6, 2 times 4 8, and so on. So here 2 4 6 8 and so on, these are the multiples of 2. Multiples of 2. Okay, so we have to find highest common multiples. Okay, least common multiples of 12 and 15. Let's say what is the common here. For 12, 12 is equal 2 times 1 is equal to 12, 2 times 2 is equal to 24, 12 times 3 36, 12 times 4 is 48, 12 times 5 is 60, and so on. Okay, it will go on. And for 15 we have 15 times 1 is equal to 15, 15 times 2 is equal to 30, 15 times 3 is equal to 45, 15 times 4 is equal to 60, 15 times 5 is equal to 75, and so on. We don't need any more. Okay, here what is the least value? Least, these are multiples, right? These are multiples. These are also multiples. These values are multiples, right? Here 60 is the, you can, if you go on, you some at a point you will have 240 also, right? So in between all these values, which one is the most common? 60. 60 is a multiples of 15. 60 is the multiple of 12, and it is the least common multiple. It is a common, and it is the least one. Okay, there is no other one which is same as these values. So least, this is the least one, and this is the least one. Least. So, and it is also common, and these are multiples. Therefore 60 is the LCM of 12 and 15. Okay. We will find Euclid methods. Okay, we will find Euclid methods also, but first let's say finding LCM using prime factors. Finding LCM using prime factors. Okay, prime factor. So here 12 can be written as 12 prime factors of 1 times 2 times 3 times again 2. Yeah, another is 30. Let's say for 30 it is 1 times 2 times 3 times 5, and 15 is 1 times 3 times 5. So what are the common here? You have, let's say you have 3 all here. This is 3 and this is all 3. So 3 is a common one. Okay, 3 is the common one. LCM, we have 3. Then you don't have any common one here. Now we have to make highest uncommon here. So highest uncommon here is, you have 2 here, but you have 2 2's here. So which one is the highest? 2 times 2 is the highest. So take 2 times 2. Again here we have 5 here and 5 here. So you can take any one of it. One of them is the highest. Okay. So you have 2 times 2, 3 times 6 is 60. At 6, if you multiply 3 times 2, 6, and here 10. So you have 60. So LCM is 60. Okay. Now let's use Euclid process. By Euclid method. We have 12, 15, 30. Okay. Now we only have to do, take anything. Let's say first we take 3. It gets 12 gets 4 times, and 15 goes 5 times, and 30 goes 10 times. Then we have, and now just let's say we have to divide any two of, but even one. Let's say we have to take 2. If you take 2, then you can divide 4 with 2 with 2 terms, and we cannot divide 5. So we'll take 5 as it is, and it will become 5. Now if you take 5, you will have 1 here and 1 here, and if you further proceed, if you take 2, then you have 1 1 1. At this point you will stop. So what is the LCM? All these marked values, product will be, or multiplication will be the LCM here. So LCM is equal 3 times 2 times 5 times 2. You will get 60 here. Okay.